So it did take me a while, but I finally moved my PC from the Thermaltake P3 open case to the Lian Li Dynamic XL case, which has been out for a while, it's hugely popular, and overall it does seem like a good case. So I'll do a video about this PC case and the whole build process and how I migrated things over. But what I'd like to show you just now is the fact that I don't really have a lot of RGB just now. Obviously you can see there's an RGB strip on the case and I haven't taken the stickers off yet, but I've got RGB at the side of the case there, I've got RGB in the memory, and I've got the NZXT Kraken Z73 AIO. So I've got the pump which can show you CPU temperature, GPU temperature. I can put funny animations and images there, yada yada yada, but really I don't have a lot of RGB here. I don't have RGB in the top exhaust fans in the AIO, and I've got Corsair fans along the side there for intake, the bottom intake fans and the exhaust. None of these are RGB. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. So I've got no doubt that you have seen one of the Lian Li Dynamic cases. There's the Mini, the regular, and then the XL, which is what I've got. But I would say about 90% or more of people who build a PC using this case, they use RGB. They've got lots of RGB fans, they've got lots of colourful flashing lights inside there, and yes, I've got a little RGB in there still, but this time I've opted for 10 non-RGB fans, 10 black non-RGB fans, and I was tempted to go for the brown and beige Noctua, but I decided to go for black. It looks a little bit better across, against the white. But yes, for the most part, this is, has not got much RGB this time. Now, this was a conscious decision because I absolutely detest RGB software. I hate it. Now, I've used RGB software in the past with other PCs, but for the most part, I just really controlled the colors of the motherboard and the graphics card, and I didn't have fans and all-in-one coolers to worry about. But now, over the last few months, this is my third all-in-one cooler. I've used a few different solutions, and I'm just absolutely bored of dealing with them because there's nothing but problems with them. Previously, when I had an ASUS all-in-one cooler, the ASUS cooler would not work with the Gigabyte RGB Fusion. Even when I uninstalled it, it just wouldn't work with the Gigabyte board. And this is one of the problems that you've got with it, is there's so many products that only work with one specific application. They don't work well together. Now, I've got this the memory here, the Adata XPG memory there. That does actually work with multiple applications, but it still doesn't work with everything, which is kind of my problem with the NZXT there. The NZXT pump there has to be controlled through NZXT CAM, which actually is quite good software, but it can only control the pump and the top fans. But if I use NZXT to control the top fans, then I can't control it through my other fan software. So I've had to take it out of the breakout cable and route these top fans through a separate fan hub directly to the motherboard so that I can control it using Gigabyte's fan software. And again, it's the same problem where you buy a specific all-in-one cooler or memory or a graphics card or something, and you have to install a second RGB application or a second custom application in order to control it. It's absolutely driving me nuts. So it's important for me to say I don't hate RGB. In fact, some of the nicest PC builds I've seen use RGB. I think you just have to pick the right case, the right fans, the right RGB products, and perhaps most importantly, get the right color scheme that complements each other. Because I think if you get too many colors, it can start to look a little bit naff, which is perhaps how my PC build a few months ago was going. It was just too many colors, too much going on. But if it's done right, I think it can look good. The problem is, it's very difficult getting products to work well together unless they're all from the same company. Now, look at mine here. I've only got the graphics card, the pump, and the memory that use RGB now. And the memory is actually quite flexible. That Adata XPG memory actually works with Gigabyte's RGB software, with MSI, with ASUS, and some open source software. But the NZXT pump only works with NZXT CAM. My Gigabyte graphics card, the LCD display, only works with their RGB Fusion. So I need to run both of those applications. And when I installed NZXT CAM yesterday, the LCD display here stopped displaying my GPU temperature. They're just not playing well together. And I had that same problem a few months ago when I installed an ASUS all-in-one cooler. And this is the problem right now that we've got. where nothing's open source and just about every company that makes an RGB product, maybe excluding fans, but just about every RGB product, graphics card, motherboard, all-in-one cooler, and even some light strips, etc. as well from Corsair and from NZXT, they only work with one specific application and they don't play well together. If you start mixing and matching different products from different companies, well, this is where problems start arising and then all of a sudden it doesn't work. Over the last few months, I've had to deal with a lot of these RGB application issues. I've had to uninstall software, reinstall NVIDIA drivers, and a lot of these RGB applications as well, they're almost like a virus. The ASUS RGB software was horrific. I uninstalled it. There was still lots of processes, there was still a lot of things in the registry as well. And I was tackling this issue again today for about an hour and a half, and I still can't get the LCD display to work when NZXT is displayed, when that is actually running. So I'm kind of bored of it. I'm sick of it. I do like the idea of displaying CPU and GPU temperatures. I do like the idea of personalizing my GPU and the pump. And I think the color schemes with that you get from RGB can make your PC build look great. But I'm absolutely detest RGB software and I'm absolutely sick of dealing with it. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, guys. Let me know your experience with using RGB software. Let me know if you do use RGB in your PC builds. Let me know what you think about it, and I'll speak to you all in the next one. Take care.